Hello again. Essay here. What does spoiled mean? Well, if you ever drank some milk that basically had turned to cottage cheese, hey, I don't have to explain it to you, you already know. But there's also a different kind of spoiled. Children. And what's the textbook definition of that? It basically means someone whose character has been harmed by being treated too leniently or indulgently. And of course, anyone who's ever gone through childhood probably ran into at least 10 characters like that. Talking about you, Derek McGee. Just saying. But it's one thing when you're dealing with a 2-year-old or a 10-year-old who is spoiled. What hasn't been dealing with someone who's like 40 or even 60. And worse, they are an elected official. Yeah. Because a long time ago, my mom told me, people will tolerate a young fool, but they have no use for an old fool. Now, I'm going to show you a snippet of a video from my old friend Tim Pool, where he talks about how right now we have a lot of elected officials who probably need a good spanking. Okay, are you ready? Here we go.
I'm sorry, my friends. I can only describe the Democrats as insane. Okay, as insane. I was thinking about this morning. I'm like, maybe I should just try and be a little nicer, but I can't. I cannot do it. The Democrats are insane. Al Green screamed out during Trump's address to a joint session of Congress. He was told numerous times to sit down and to be quiet. He was disrupting the proceeding, and he refused. They asked him again, if you don't, we're going to throw you out. They threw the guy out. They now are going to censure him. They did censure him. Get this. Democrats disrupted the House again as they were censuring Al Green for disrupting the address from Donald Trump. Frank Luntz said that Trump's speech was manna from heaven for Republicans. And I'll say not just that. The way the Democrats acted gave the Republicans a beautiful gift for the midterms. They can't learn, can they? Fox News says Dems throw House into chaos after 10 moderates join GOP to punish Al Green. Yo, he's being censured. Do you guys know what that means? It means they wiggle their finger at him. That's it. So a bunch of Democrats start protesting. Speaker Johnson is banging the gavel, being like, order, and they refuse. They refuse. I can't believe it. They should be expelled. Maybe at least Al Green. It's performative. Nothing is getting done. I'm just so over it. I got to be honest. We send people to Congress to do a job. There is no legislature. There is none. There is only a dog and pony show. We send people to Congress believing in our naivete that they're going to actually vote on bills. Only a small handful do. Thomas Massey, shout out. Marjorie Taylor Greene, shout out. There's a handful of others that are pretty good. But for the most part, all they do is spectacle. Al Green stood up wiggling his cane at Trump, not because he actually cared, but because he wants to get reelected. He knows that video will play well among his diehard Trump derangement syndrome base, and he's going to secure reelection and keep his fake job, where all of them, save only a small handful, are just under the employ of lobbyists. Oh boy. Let me play the video for you, and so you can see. So they did censure this guy. Here's what went down. We got the C-SPAN video. Loading up 1 second. Any minute now, they're going to start talking. At least I hope so.
By its adoption of House Resolution 189, the House has resolved that Representative Al Green be censured, that Representative Al Green forthwith present himself in the well of the House of Representatives for the pronouncement of censure.
So, real quick, I'm going to go back a second. The reason I minimize the player is so that you can see the cluster of Democrats on the left side. When I zoom in, it gets actually blocked out by the frame I have for the show. So I'll go back, but you get the point. Maybe I went too far.
9. The House has resolved that Representative Al Green be censured, that Representative Al Green forthwith present himself in the well of the House of Representatives for the pronouncement of censure.
They're singing.
And that Representative Al Green be censured with public reading of this resolution by the Speaker.
The Democrats are all singing right now. I don't know what they're singing.
The House had come to order. The House had come to order. What's that?
Oh, my God.
The House had come to order. Clear the well, please. Clear the well. The House has to.
Nope. Democrats are all just standing there singing. Yo, is that AOC? No, that's not AOC. Where's AOC at? They mute audio again. Oh, what's this?
Pursuant to Clause 12A of Rule 1, the House will stand in recess subject to the call of the chair.
Wow. Yo, that's crazy. I'm sick of these people. I am sick of these people. I am sick of this. This was at 10 in the morning. The Democrats go into the well of the House and start singing. Singing. What did Mike Johnson do? He recessed. Call the sergeant at arms and lock them all up. Throw them out. They're disrupting an official proceeding. Why are we tolerating this? Fox News reports 10 Democrats joined Republicans in voting for the measure to censure Green. Green himself voted present. Interesting. Along with first-term Rep. Shamari Figures. Al Green's childish outburst exposed the chaos and dysfunction with the Democratic Party since President Trump's overwhelming win in November and his success in office thus far. It is not surprising 198 Democrats refused to support Green's censure, given the history of radical inflammatory rhetoric fueled by the Trump derangement syndrome, Tom Emmer told Fox News. Before the formal censure could be read out to Green, however, Democrats upended the House floor proceedings by gathering with the Texas Democrat and singing "We Shall Overcome." Oh, these people are insane. Please, please keep doing it. We are going to swim through the midterms. They're nuts. Decorum eroded further afterwards, with several Democrats, including squad member Anna Presley, engaging in a heated exchange with Republicans. The 10 Democrats who voted for the censure, we get it. Republicans raced to introduce competing resolutions to censure Green on Wednesday, with 3 separate texts being drafted. Fox News is told that Rep. Dan Newhouse of Washington, whose resolution got a vote on the floor, reached out to Johnson about a censure resolution immediately after Trump's speech. Yada, yada, we get it. Al Green was screaming, "Yo, this is crazy." Despite my repeated warnings, he refused to cease his antics, and I was forced to remove him from the chamber, Johnson posted on X. He deliberately violated House rules, and an expeditious vote of censure is an appropriate remedy. Any Democrat who is concerned about regaining the trust and respect of the American people should join House Republicans in this effort. Green, who shook Newhouse's hand before speaking during debate on his own censure, stood by his actions on Wednesday. I heard the speaker when he said that I should cease. I did not, and I did not with intentionality. It was not done out of a burst of emotion. It's because he's a scumbag. It's because Al Green's trying to make a video where he gets elected. That's why they're singing "We Shall Overcome." These are not protesters. They're supposed to be professionals. This country is in disarray. I can only hope that something is done, but the system is crumbling before our eyes. We expect members of Congress to go to D.C., vote on legislation. They don't. Now it's just cognitively impaired individuals singing songs. And Mike Johnson should have called the sergeant at arms to say, clear the well. That's it. Clear the well. Capitol Police, come in, clear the well. I don't know what you do, to be honest. They want it. They want it to happen. But at a certain point, you just say, okay, you get what you want. And the police, they will come in and they will remove all of you, and then they all get censured. And then the Republicans should be voting to expel these people. Yo, I ain't playing games. Mike Johnson I'm make some phone calls. I'm gonna call some members of Congress. Where's my phone? I'm gonna say, introduce a resolution to expel these members, kick them out if they're not going to do their jobs, if they're gonna pander and sing and not come to order. They should all be expelled. Why don't they do it? Because I don't believe any of them are willing to do their jobs. I don't know. Pathetic.
Okay, you saw that. Now, of course, some of you right now saying, oh, those clowns in Congress who were having a hissy fit during Trump's congressional speech, they just got a terminal TDS. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm not going to argue with you. However, it's not just in Congress. Indeed, I think if you remember in Tim's video, he mentioned that woman who's currently the mayor of Boston, in which they had some incident where some kook, some crazy person, went crazy in the damn Chick-fil-A business and tried to kill everybody with a knife. And there was a cop in there. I guess he was in there to get his chicken sandwich, with that special chicken sandwich sauce, which I heard was pretty good. Haven't tried it, but I heard it's pretty good. But anyway, and he shot the guy. And then what does the mayor say? Oh, I hope everyone is safe, or the cop should get a medal. No, she's saying, oh, I feel real sorry for the family of the perp who got ventilated by the police. And I know, and multiple people in Boston, good people, smart people, said, what the fuck? Yeah. Why are you sitting there shedding tears over the damn perp? The perp got what he deserved. I mean, I'm not playing. Because if I was in a Chick-fil-A and I was trying to get my chicken sandwich with that special chicken sandwich sauce, and some knucklehead came in there with some kind of weapon trying to kill everybody, and I was strapped, like say with a Smith & Wesson 500, I wouldn't hold back either. And you say, but you're not a cop. Yeah, but I can claim self-defense, because as people in my neighborhood used to say, I'd rather be judged by 6. No, I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. Just saying. But still, this is gone beyond just merely a nuisance. This is systemic. And indeed, I think Tim mentioned this video in passing that old AOC, who is not known to be a great intellect, she's worried now she's going to get prosecuted because she's been advocating loudly for illegal migration, to the point where she's actually setting up webinars to tell illegal aliens how to duck and dodge from the damn ICE and immigration enforcement. And wait for it, you ready? Yes, there is a law against that. It's a federal law. So anyone watching this video right now and wants to tell some Gonzalo or Consuela how to duck and dodge from ICE, don't even think about it. Because that guy, Tom Holland, hears about that shit, he's been kicking in your door, all right. He ain't going to be bringing no milk and cookies. You don't bring in a damn... some AR-15s with the handcuffs for your stupid ass. Just saying. But yeah. And then, of course, you just saw in Tim's video when that one clown, Mr. Ponytail from Texas, was going to be censured. The damn Democrats en masse revolted on the floor of the Congress, sitting there singing songs, talking about we will overcome. You guys came and overcome over almost 60 years ago. Quit it. You're not being oppressed. You're being censored because you're being morons. And like I said, why is this happening? I think it's because these people have been indulged for too long. I mean, look what was going on just 4 years ago during the George Floyd riots. I mean, these, and even a little bit further. Remember the riots that were happening during the 2016 election? I remember those riots where the damn people up there in San Jose went crazy and attacked all those people, went to a Trump rally. I mean, this was back before the election in 2016. I remember that. And then it came out afterwards that all those protesters would beat up all those Trump supporters. I mean, seriously beat the crap on them. Those people were bleeding and from head wounds and everything. And then it came out afterwards that the damn mayor, a Democrat, told the police chief to stand down and let the people riot. Yeah. And of course, you remember what happened up there in Minnesota when the damn George Floyd riots got started. Same thing. And then when those people rioted in D.C., and tried to burn down the White House with Trump in it. I think that was in 2020. And not one of those people got arrested. I mean, those clowns tried to burn down St. John's Church. I mean, that's one of the oldest churches in Washington, D.C. That church has been around since the time of Thomas Jefferson. And the damn stupid mayor of D.C. and the city council said, who cares? Fuck it. And now we jump forward to the present day, and Trump, he ain't acting like Mussolini. He definitely ain't acting like the guy with the brush mustache. Yeah, he's not even acting like Stalin. He's just trying to clean up the mess that Joe Biden left behind. And let's not pretend Joe Biden left a big, fat, creamery, smelly turd right in the middle of the United States. And someone's going to have to clean that mess up. And these people are having hissy fit after hissy fit after hissy fit. I mean, it reminds me of an episode of Rocky and Bullwinkle. What's the matter you? And indeed, even Greg Gutfeld, who I will admit he's a lot smarter than he is, got brains, but whatever. Even he said these damn Democrats are having a real bad habit of picking the 20 out of a 2080 issue. And you say, what does that mean? Well, that means that if people say, okay, how many people want pepperoni on their pizza, raise your hand, and then say how many people want anchovies on pizza, raise your hand, you're probably going to get a 2080 split. And just as a matter of speaking, I have tried anchovies on pizza, and I didn't like it. Tasted too much like sardines. But anyway. And the Democrats keep doing that. Like, for example, guys in women's sports. Most people say, nah, we don't like that. The Democrats say, yeah, we're for that. Indeed, Tim in a previous video talked about how when Trump was talking to Congress, he brought some woman up. She's a woman now, but she was a teenager a few short years ago, who got clobbered by some dude during a volleyball match. And would you believe these Democrats were snickering and laughing at her? I mean, the woman suffered traumatic brain injury. She had to go to the hospital, and they had to cut a hole in her head to drain the swelling. That girl could have died. And these people think it's a joke. They think it's funny. And then you're wondering, okay, something is definitely wrong with these people. And I'm thinking, yeah. And let's not pretend. I will concede part of it is TDS, but I think it's like about 100 miles past that point. I mean, these people are just spoiled brats. Now, of course, some of you say, oh, but they're just mad because Trump won the election. So what? I mean, so fucking what? Because I remember back during the Reagan-Bush days, and the Democratic Party was out of power for 12 solid years. And yet they didn't behave nothing like this. In fact, I remember old Tip O'Neill. He was the head honcho inside the House of Representatives representing the Democratic caucus. And you never saw not even a tenth of this kind of nonsense happening when he was there. And indeed, he actually worked with Reagan. I remember. And yes, there were some hardcore lefties like Tom Hayden, Jane Fonda's former husband, used to be the mayor of the People's Republic of Santa Monica, which I'm not going to get into. But anyway, he criticized Tip O'Neill, but then Tip O'Neill worked with Reagan for a bunch of legislation, including extending Medicare, as well as Social Security. And wait for it, that miserable bill that provided stupid amnesty for a whole bunch of illegal aliens back in 1987. And wait for it, you ready? In the bill said that the people who were here illegally would get amnesty, but then there's supposed to be border security as part of the package. And the illegals, they got amnesty, but then the border security, it kind of evaporated like an egg on the sidewalk in the Amarillo, Texas at high noon on the hottest day of the year. First it was there, then it was gone. And I think, if I remember correctly, I think it was under Bush that they finally took the damn steel plates off of several retired aircraft carriers and used the steel plates as fencing. And wait for it, you ready? That steel fencing was still there along the U.S.-Mexican border down there near San Jacinto, down there in San Diego County, when Trump showed up. Of course, those beat-up, rusted pieces of metal weren't even standing up. No, they all fell down in the dirt, and people just walking back and forth like there was no border down there. Yeah, because my father, back during the 90s, he used to go down there to Calexico all the time. Why? Let's just say it was business oriented, and that's all I'm going to say on it. And he said that, yeah, the border back then in the 90s was wide open. And he didn't have a passport, and he walked across back and forth all the time down there, along with his buddy Ron. This big fat white guy, but whatever. But yeah. And yet, the Democrats more or less held their shit. They didn't act kooky, goofy, crazy, and nutty. And wait for it, you ready? The Republicans, when they had a dry spell, back between 1932 and 1952, where they were out of the White House for 20 solid years, they didn't behave like this, like spoiled sugar and getting mad and stomping their feet and taking off their shoe like Khrushchev at the damn United Nations and banging it on the desk. No, they behaved themselves. I know they didn't like the fact that FDR was president for damn near 16 years, but whatever. And indeed, that's eventually led to the 25th Amendment under Eisenhower to basically give the president 2 terms. Now you know where that law came from. And wait for it, you ready? Way back in the 19th century, during the Gilded Age, the Democrats, except for 2 non-consecutive terms by Grover Cleveland, the Democrats were out of the White House for over 50 years. Yeah, you can look it up. I think if I remember correctly, James Buchanan, I think, was the last Democratic president. I think 1856 to 1860, and then he was replaced by Lincoln. And then after that, they didn't have a regular Democratic president except for Grover Cleveland between 1860 and 1912. That's a very long dry spell. Now, of course, some of you say, oh, what about Andrew Johnson? He was a Democrat. Technically, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. Because I remember reading that history. Yeah, because when he became Lincoln's running mate in 1864 election, the Democratic Party disavowed him. Why? They thought he was a traitor. And you say, what? Yeah, because you got to remember, 1864, the Civil War was still going on. And Andrew Johnson was a Democrat. I think he was from Tennessee or Kentucky. I forgot which state now. But yeah. And wait for it, you ready? The Confederacy. Most of the people who supported the Confederacy, you know, Jefferson Davis on down, they all had D next to their name. I know Democrats don't like to talk about that history nowadays, but whatever. But yeah, you didn't see the Democrats behaving like spoiled children during that dry spell. No. So what's going on with these people? Now, of course, some of you saying, "Oh, but what about the dry spell the Republicans had during Bill Clinton?" And I'm thinking, okay, yeah, you did have Newt Gingrich, but you gotta remember, Newt Gingrich didn't behave like a spoiled child. And no, he didn't sit there was trying to impeach Bill Clinton every time Bill Clinton farted, unlike Nancy Pelosi did with Trump. Just saying. In fact, he only tried to impeach Clinton once, and that was because of that Zelensky chick, which I thought was a joke. I mean, seriously, I remember when that mess happened, and I said, out of all the women in the universe, you're going to get in trouble for that skank? I mean, seriously, if I was president of the United States, hey, man, I would get some Playboy Playmate of the Year pussy and get in trouble over that. Yeah, instead of some big old buffalo butt who was like maybe a 4 or 5 on a good day. Just saying. And then, of course, some of you saying, "Oh, what about that guy who yelled at Obama on the floor of Congress doing his State Union speech?" I think Obama was talking about, I think he was talking about Obamacare, and that one guy stood up and said, "You lie." I remember that. I saw that. Well, guess what? It was just that one guy. And what's going on now is completely different. I mean, you got like pretty much almost the entire Democratic caucus and the House of Representatives staging like practically a full-blown insurrection. Yeah, I use that word. And of course, they saw in Tim Pool's video, Tim said, yeah, they should call out the Sergeant at Arms to kick all these knuckleheads out. And I'm thinking, it would serve them right if they all got banned from the damn Congress. But then again, how's that going to look on 6 o'clock news? Now, some of you saying, who cares what 6 o'clock news said? But those people are a bunch of lefties anyway. I'm thinking, But unfortunately, most people watch the 6 o'clock news when they get their news. Most people don't watch Joe Rogan when they want to see their news, or even Tim Pool. And of course, you know, those people over there at CNN, MSNBC, oh my God, New York Times, Washington Post, you know, they would scream bloody murder and then some if the damn Republican caucus kicked out most of the Democrat caucus. They're acting like morons. I think that's probably a reason why they won't do it. And as you saw in Tim Pool's video, he was kind of annoyed by that. He said that these damn Republicans in the damn running Congress don't got no balls. And I'm thinking, yeah, but I think they're also looking at the big picture. They know that the Democrats, or I should say their allies, news media, would make holy hell for them. And unfortunately, most people don't watch podcasts or YouTubers to get their news from. They know this. Therefore, they know that they would likely create so much trouble for themselves by doing what's the cliche, feels like justice. So what do? Just sit there and tolerate these people making a nuisance of themselves? Not necessarily. I think take a page from Nancy Pelosi's book and start finding these people. Every time someone mouths off, $5,000 fine. You come in there with stupid props and start acting a fool, $10,000 fine. And they bring in a super bunch of protesters. Like I think you remember, I think it happened, I think when Joe Biden was there, a bunch of Hamas supporters came into, I think it was the Senate office building and staged a protest right there on the floor of the Senate office building. Boom. You just forfeited your wages for an entire year. Now, some of you saying, but yeah, a lot of these people in Congress are crooked. They got money under the table from lobbyists and God knows what else. What they care, they lose their official salary for a whole year. And I'm thinking, I hear you. But you got to do something, because when you're dealing with a spoiled, petulant child, you're going to have to show them the instruments. You got to show them the belt. Or back when I was a kid, my Aunt Rosie would say, show them the switch. Yeah, basically a branch from a rose bush. And believe me, I can testify, you do not want to be spanked by a damn branch from a rose bush. No, you do not. Yeah, like a damn cat o' nine tails on your rump. Just a quick reminder to all of you that my short story, The White Cat, is still available on Substack. The links are down below in the description. Join Margot Thompson, a beautiful stage actress and recent widow who finds salvation in the form of a white cat during a night of terror. And while you're looking up my oddball thriller, my book series, Glitch, is still available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and other bookstores. The links are down below in the description. Join Ike and Sandra, a reluctant jewel thief and a kidnapped teen model who are on the run from the law across the American Southwest. Yeah. But I do know one thing for certain. If the Democratic elected officials, the Democrats, keep behaving like this, they're going to end up like the Whigs, that defunct political party from the 19th century. No joke. Now, of course, some of you smart people say, oh, but the Whigs, they collapsed for a variety of reasons. Yeah, I know. They became irrelevant as the various political factions started going their separate ways and forming new parties. Yeah, I know. I read that history. But wait for it. You ready? Ordinary people, ordinary citizens, people whose brains work, they don't want to vote for children. They don't want to vote for people acting like retards. And yeah, I use the word retards. They don't want to vote for people who are an embarrassment. Yeah. So keep on acting a fool, Democrats, because one day you're going to have an election and nobody's going to show up for vote for your side if you keep carrying on like this. Just saying. Well, that's all I got to say about these damn fools who call themselves elected officials. And that's my opinion.
So American.